9:34, running a little behind schedule this morning. And I don't want to keep this next guest too long because he's a very busy guy. But he gives a little of his time on Wednesdays to help us out with Ask the Lawyer. Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. And maybe today's the day your question gets answered. So please help me welcome Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, Todd. How are you this morning?
Excellent. How are you doing?
Hey, how could you be better? This is the most beautiful weather in the whole country.
Right now, absolutely. And it's a great time of the year, too, as it's starting to warm up, I guess, almost near record highs in the next couple of days. So it's going to be the opposite of last weekend.
Yeah, that's a welcome change.
Okay. Let's get to today's question, because it's a rather lengthy one. But somebody's hurting, and they need help. And I know you're the guy that can provide some perspective. Are you ready?
I am ready, Todd.
All right, here's the email. It says, my wife and I were celebrating our anniversary at a Venice restaurant. A waiter cleaning the table dropped a glass of water and continued to the kitchen instead of cleaning the spill. When my wife went to use the bathroom, she slipped on the spill. She fell hard on her arm and struck her head. She was taken to the hospital and released. Weeks later, I should say, she was still having severe pain. After multiple visits, her doctor sent my wife to a pain specialist who diagnosed her with RSD. The insurance company wants to settle by paying the current medical bills and $10,000. It seems like a lot of money, but we are concerned that RSD could involve a very long treatment period and maybe physical therapy. Can you ask the lawyer what he thinks we should do? We are worried about our future, as they well should be. And maybe you could begin by explaining for us lay people what RSD actually is.
Well, that's an excellent question, and it's probably the most severe pain anybody could possibly undergo.
Oh, wow.
I liken it, the worst pain that I could think of is when you get burnt.
Yes, they said that's awful.
RSD is similar to or worse than getting burned.
Oh, goodness. That's...
The current name for it is Comprehensive Regional Pain Syndrome.
I see.
And it's so bad that sometimes if the air conditioner blows on the part of your body, it just causes tremendous pain. Years ago, this is really crazy. Years ago, I had a client that fell and hurt his leg, and his leg developed RSD. It was so painful, he kept going to different doctors, asking them to amputate his leg.
Oh, my gosh, that's extreme.
And after, most doctors wouldn't do it, he finally found one that would amputate his leg. And the sad thing is, after amputating his leg, he still had the same pain in his leg. So,
my goodness.
The moral of the story and the answer to the question is absolutely they should not settle the case, knowing that there's a possibility or a diagnosis of RSD. Initially, it sounds like not a bad offer. You fell and hurt your arm, and they offered you $10,000 plus the medical bills.
Right.
It sounds like a reasonable offer, except if she really has RSD, Katie barred the door. It's worth lots and lots of money, and of course, it's never, worth the money for the pain and suffering that you go through, and the, terrible medical expenses, because she's going to go to doctors and get different kind of pain medication.
Right.
And, it's a very, very bad diagnosis for her. And this is a very good example why you should always hire an experienced personal injury lawyer, because, the advice would be, not to settle. Let's see how your injury develops, once we know what the status of the injury is, then you could, intelligently talk about what the value of the case might be. But the insurance companies being real smart here, they're trying to get in early, paying amounts of money that seems to be okay. But if she took that amount of money and signed a release,
it's all
she'd
over.
regret it. She'd regret it for the rest of her life.
Yeah. Seems to me, too, again, as a lay person, this time with law instead of medical, this is the kind of thing that if it ended up in court, you would need to have doctors and medical experts testifying. And I wouldn't know where to begin finding the right kind of physician or medical expert for that kind of thing. But you know how to find those kinds of people, right?
Sure. We have dealt with it in many cases in the past. And, it's so important to get to the right doctor for the right treatment, and if you had to go to court, the right testimony, because it's not an injury like you break your leg and you look at an x-ray and say, oh, he has a broken leg.
Right.
RSD is a hard problem to diagnose and to treat, and you need to have the right specialist.
Yeah, if you can't see it on an X-ray or an MRI or something, then it gets kind of difficult, so you got to have the right person.
Exactly.
All right, Bruce. Well, that does obviously shed some light on this situation and hopefully give hope. Don't want to sound hopeless for this woman. There is medical help available. It's going to take some dollars. And to get the dollars, you need a legal professional who can handle your case properly, right?
Absolutely. You need to find a lawyer that had experience handling cases involving RSD and let them guide you through the process.
All right, Bruce. Much appreciates your feedback on this difficult situation today. I'm hoping that it does provide some emotional relief as they listen to this broadcast as well. Bruce, thanks again for your time and giving of your time. Look forward to talking to you again next week.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. I hope the weather stays as nice as it is today.
Fingers are crossed. Have a good one.
Okay. Take care, Todd.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured, and our Ask the Lawyer segment of the week. If you'd like to submit a question for future consideration, all you have to do is go to the website and put the keyword Bruce in the search box. But if you need more immediate help, now this is a great example of somebody who needs immediate help. Please don't be shy. Call the Port Charlotte office of Associates and Bruce L. Scheiner at 941-743-7777. 743-7777. And tell them that Hot Rod Todd sent you from Kick Century 92.9.